Hey guys, Matt here. So you will notice that Gevo's earnings were almost a week ago, and I didn't make a video about it yet. And the short version is I didn't want to, and I wasn't going to. I got enough comments that I feel I should talk about it. The short version is that I didn't think the earnings were that interesting. See, back in the day, when I first covered Gevo, and maybe I cheerleaded for it a lot, I would get really excited for these earnings. Like, oh my God, Gevo will have earnings coming out, and let's get excited about it. And oh, nothing's happening. And that was fine for the first little bit when the RNG plant was coming out and stuff, because Gevo was interesting back then. But ever since Gevo pushed back the Net Zero 1 to at least 2026 now, I mean, the earnings have just been... I mean, I guess I wanted to say fine, but it's more like fine in the sense of everything else that's going on, right? I mean, fine as in not worse. And so I'm going to talk about Gevo in relation to the rest of my portfolio. Every individual stock in my portfolio has had earnings come out, and they were all good. They were all solid at best, with the exception of Gevo. I would say Gevo was mediocre. But every other earnings were a lot better. AT&T was really good. Verizon was good. Target was great. Tapestry was great. Google and Meta were fantastic, even though the stock dropped at first. So unless I'm mistaken, every individual stock here, their earnings were, I think, solid at best. Everything was doing pretty well except for Gevo, which is mediocre. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the earnings themselves, just to hammer home my point. Now, the RNG plant, the capacity expansion, that's pretty cool. Like, if Gevo wanted to completely abandon Net Zero 1, now I'd have to look at the numbers, but in my just off the hip opinion, now I would sell out of the stock. But if Gevo abandoned Net Zero 1 and just decided to do RNG, I think Gevo could survive in some capacity. It wouldn't be popular, but I think it could survive somehow. But I mean, RNG plant expansion, that's a really good thing. I mean, they touted progress with their Verity project, which is used to measure carbon intensity. I mean, all these are pretty good. But if you go to Net Zero 1, basically they're on track. That's the point of Net Zero 1, which is great. I mean, by itself, but you gotta imagine that it's already been delayed to 2026. So I guess this is average. I mean, thank you for not delaying it anymore. And what I'm trying to say is, I think the next interesting thing that's going to come out of Gevo, unless I get surprised, is Net Zero 1 is fully funded, which will be within 9 months, or Net Zero 1 is not fully funded, or they do this weird thing in which they drag it out for years on end, which is the bad scenario. Now, let me make this clear. My position and viewpoints on Gevo long-term have not changed. I am still long-term bullish on the stock, obviously. I've still been holding it for all these years. I mean, once Gevo brings out Net Zero 1, like, they already have customers, they have billions of dollars of revenue just sitting, waiting for Gevo to build the damn plant, and all they have to do is build it. So I am very long-term bullish on this company. It's just that I'm not going to pretend to be excited by, every earnings, and especially not this one. I mean, Gevo still holds a very strong balance sheet. It's got a lot of cash sitting on hand. Liabilities aren't that bad. I mean, they could survive without Net Zero 1. Like I said, I would sell out of the stock, but I mean, Gevo could survive. I mean, just as RNG if they wanted to. I mean, their revenue's looking better. They're trimming their loss from operations. All that is fine. I mean, but let's be honest. That's not why we bought the stock. We bought the stock for Net Zero 1. It's just that Gevo is still, I mean, I kind of bounced around throughout the years, but right now it's still a spec stock. It is not the most important stock in my portfolio by far. Like most of these other stocks, I've been through the ringer with these. I mean, if you saw my portfolio for like a year or two ago, I was negative 36% on Palantir. Like a lot of these stocks, and I bounced back on all of them. And so, yeah, I have a bunch of companies that I feel that I put a lot more attention to. I pay a lot more attention to than Gevo. Like even ETFs like SHD, like all these boring stocks that don't get views. I mean, they're attracting my attention right now. But I'm still long-term bullish on Gevo. It's just like I mean, nothing interesting has come from them in a while. And until Net Zero 1 is fully financed, I don't think anything interesting will come out from Gevo for at least a while. But anyways, take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.